Hi guys, thank you for listening to this episode of Tips with T. On today, I have Miss Paulina with me. How are you doing today?
Hey, Taylor. Good. Thanks. How are you?
I'm good. It's so awesome to have you on the podcast today, and I'm very, very looking forward to what you have to discuss and share. But before we get into it, tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do.
So I'm currently a founder of Shopkeeper, which is an app for Amazon sellers. In general, I have been doing a little bit of everything. Mostly, my favorite space to be is online marketing of any sort. So I've been promoting an app that I have right now. I've been promoting websites. And so in the 11 years that I've been online marketer and entrepreneur, I've learned quite a bit of things. And the world is interesting out here, you know. The problem with it is that it comes and goes, comes and goes. So, for example, Facebook was big at some point, and then now it's sort of flatlining, right? Instagram is taking over.
Mm-hmm.
So, my businesses with time adapt to that change as well. So, when you ask me what I have been doing, I feel like everything, everything I've done, like I've tried a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I feel pretty well rounded in that area. And at the moment, I'm running Shopkeeper.
That's awesome. So that is a very good thing that you're saying that, Instagram is now taking over Facebook because like now I'm trying to slowly transition on how to build my followers on Instagram because everybody is um, moving towards Instagram. But they also have like this new thing called TikTok, correct? So
Right.
never really heard of it. So eager to learn more about it. Learn more how to use it. So how do you teach your clients on how to use TikTok?
So first, for those, I guess, who don't know what TikTok is, let me just quickly show on the browser the Google Trends. Google Trends, and I'll open up the comparison of, so let's see, TikTok. Okay. So TikTok over the past 5 years, let's say if we're looking at the curve, there was nothing, 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 and then boom, look at this, what is happening recently.
Right.
So this is September 1st when you see the big peak. That's when Gary Vee promoted it. Then everybody checked it out. And look at what happened later. It looks, the curve is like, so quickly it's going up. So it's on a huge trend right now. It's
Mm-hmm.
half as big as Instagram already,
Wow.
maybe even more than half. So it's really a platform that is on the boom, on the growth curve, and now is the gold rush to jump on, just because it's so easy to get new followers.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I hear, and TikTok is something that I am investigating. Like I said, I've tried a little bit of everything in terms of marketing, and TikTok is interesting to me because it's like the next shiny object, it's
Right.
interesting.
Right.
So many people are seeing success with it, and I became very personally curious about it. And I have learned so much in the last 3 months on how it works, what people do with it, and how do they promote their businesses on TikTok.
Awesome. Awesome. So are you going to share with us a couple of examples that you have learned by using TikTok?
Yeah, so let me maybe share my phone screen if that's all right. Okay, let me just go here. All right, so optimize performance. All right, it will. Do you see it? So you see it already, right? My phone screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what you see here is just a feed of all kinds of videos, but I have favorited the business related videos. So videos on TikTok are short, either 15 seconds or 1 minute,
Mm-hmm.
and it's mostly personal videos where you just talking about something, filming, a moment of your life or something like that. So it's for very quick, for people who are bored, to scroll through the video feed.
Mm-hmm.
And people for businesses, this is a collection of how to use it for business. So I'll just show you a few examples, I guess, if that will be easier to show what TikTok is about. So for example, there's a lawyer. Alright, so in the background there's also music going, and it says you will only see this post once, you may never see my page again, and like and share to avoid being slapped with a lawsuit. That's all he did, 15 seconds. And now if you look at his profile, he has 2 million followers, and each of his videos have like 50,000 views, and some of them a million views and more. And all he did is just, being the first on TikTok. Like he said, there's 3 other lawyers on TikTok, And now what happens, TikTok audience is fairly young, so majority of people who are using TikTok are younger than 20. But there's a growing, that's how all the platforms started, which are new. They start with the young audience and then grow into older. Like, when we started using Facebook, it was new. And, now we all got old and we are still using Facebook. So it's just the right time to get a lot of followers. And look, he got 2 million followers, and on his Instagram, many followers flow over. When they're following him on TikTok, many of them check out his Instagram link as well. And then he collected 29,000 followers on Instagram just because he has a TikTok. So wow. All I'm saying is you have to just be present, just create something, and you will get views. Now, for example, if you have a YouTube channel, normally you would get, if you're a small channel without many subscribers, you're just starting out, you'll get like 20 views for one video, right? Or 8 views. That's how it is these days with YouTube. But when you put a video on TikTok, any random video you put, anything at all, will get at least 300 views. And then TikTok analyzes how the audience is reacting to it. So if people are clicking on it, if they are watching it, if they are repeat watching it on a cycle, if they're liking it and sharing it and following you, the more people do all these things, the more people will see it. So you don't even have to have a follower base. You start from 0. So they show it to 300 people. If they all like it very much, they'll show to another 1,000 people, then to another 1,000. So it depends how good your video is, how much is liked within your niche. That's how many views you can get. And now, popular ways to use video when you're promoting products is probably easiest thing to do is for those who actually have a product. So it's very visual. So something like food, or something that is visual when you have something to show is fairly easy, because all you do is you show manufacturing process. You show how the thing is manufactured, and look, it's 500 likes, 500,000 likes. That's all it is. If you have a product, I highly recommend showing manufacturing videos, because these tend to get viral, and it's very easy to get videos like that. You don't need to produce too much. You don't need to show your face if you don't want to. You may be shy and not willing to show yourself in the beginning. You could use manufacturing videos. Now, if you sell a service of some kind and you don't have visually what to show, you don't have like a glass bowl or food to demonstrate, well, you can show yourself. There's this one very fun trend, and trends on TikTok is something that you should do when you get on. For example, you see a few videos on my screen now which have these highlighted texts, right? So, for example, real estate starter pack. So it is a trend. So what you do is you jump on the same trend and do the same video like these people do. So for example, real estate agent, he's just saying, I failed at previous careers, drives leased BMW, and it's sort of imitating the gaming, when you're choosing a character in the game in the beginning. So to follow the trend, you would click on in the corner in the little circle there, and that is the original sound. So when the trend started, someone started it. There's this first girl who started it, and after that there were many other people who continue on that trend. So now if you don't have something to show but you sell a service, for example, you're an accountant, so just put yourself there, you are circling like that, and say the accountant, the one who everybody comes to say, oh, do my taxes, can you do my taxes for me, or something funny as well, and whatever you like, just to make it interesting. Now, because you will follow the trend, you will get more views views automatically because many people scroll through this feed just like I'm scrolling right now. So it's not only the hashtags and searches that will get you the views, but also those people who like to follow the trends. So TikTok is very, very musical, so it's a lot about the sound and the music. It's often that it's a good idea to use popular music. Usually when you create a video, you can choose which music you want to attach to it. And the more popular music you choose, the more likely your video will get shown to more people. And there's hashtags as well. Same like the at the bottom you'll see this is a Turkish one, but he's using a few hashtags in there. So hashtags work similar like in Instagram they do. Um, and it's crazy, all you do is just show your product how it works, and then you get 2 million views, on a simple 15-second video with some nice music as well. All right. So you get the idea, right? So in general, the account, when you create it, for example, I just created an account and I posted a few videos. So without me being famous with 0 followers, look, I got 300 views on my first video, and on YouTube, this would never happen, and all I did is just something like awkward and, uncomfortable, and then some just totally random videos just to test the platform. And they're getting a lot of views just like that. To get 700 views on LinkedIn is impossible. You have to work really hard on Instagram or other platforms to get the 700 eyes to look at your product and your service. So it's definitely a platform that I'm exploring right now. I have been collecting all of these ideas from people in similar niches. My personal case is much harder than e-commerce product seller or someone who has something to show, because I sell a software product. Now, when you're selling software product, it's super boring to, just show like screenshots of the software. No one's gonna want, so I have to be much more creative in that. I'm thinking to maybe add some interviews about profit calculations or something that will teach people about the profit, and that's what we do, profit calculations. So yeah, just thinking about that. Do you think you would want to do it for your business?
I'm definitely interested now that I see that with TikTok, it can actually help increase your Instagram followers too as well. They will leave from there and go follow you on your other links that are attached to it, social media links that are attached to it. I also like how when the lawyer guy, I seen on his page where he actually added his YouTube page to it. So there's no telling, people probably dropped off for TikTok and went to his YouTube page. And then TikTok is really showing me that you can get a lot of followers with really kind of like the limited effort. You just have to be creative when it comes to your videos, but you can get followers quicker than any other platform that I ever seen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still a lot of work. I mean, you'll have to put the thought in it. And okay, so here's the devil's advocate on this side, right? I am considering it right now to make it the major platform for me to try on next, because I do marketing strategy at a time. So first I research and I consider whether it's worth to put 100% of my efforts in it. But I'm not sure if being popular equals having conversions, especially for me, right? So I want to attract Amazon sellers who will convert and for trials on my software. Is this the right platform for me? There's many considerations if you're considering the same for your business. First, think about the audience. They're a younger audience right now. They, it's even if it's younger audience, you could get like 2 million followers, and later it doesn't matter that it's all youngsters, but TikTok will show to more people, so there will be some percentage of older people in there as well. So that means you will get some targeted eyes. In general, social media, I am not quite 100% convinced yet that it can give you those direct conversions in terms of I saw your video and I'm converting. it's probably only good to become popular and accustomed to the user. So when he sees you over and over and over and over, familiarity with your brand, and eventually then he goes, oh, let me go check it out, that shopkeeper, what it is, right? It's probably not so immediate on my type of services. Now, if you sell something cool, like an item, like a little bee, like a little tiny bee, that is a necklace, I might just click on it and buy it right away, so it's a completely different angle that you should look at it. I think in terms of internet businesses that have nothing to show, like services, let's say accounting or lawyers or like mine, shopkeeper software, is probably better to focus on YouTube and out of all the social medias, and maybe podcasting, audio podcasts, because then you get a longer stretch of person's attention, and the one who is listening for 1 hour to you actually will get familiar with you. They will feel like they know you a little bit. They will more likely to do business with you. And if they're listening the whole hour to you do saying something, that means they are potentially your potential customer. Now, TikTok, it could be anyone just curious about your viral video that you made. It doesn't matter if it's related to shopkeeper. Maybe you're just very famous and popular there, but there's no direct conversions. So I am right now analyzing that part of things. Is popularity the same as being, is it worth putting 100% of my effort for the next 1.5 months of all my team working on that? That will take a lot of effort to create the content, to think of ideas, to research hashtags, to find those trends, to trending music, then reply to comments that people make. It's like a full-time job, right? So that's where the interesting question comes in now. Yes, it's amazing, it's growing, but does it exactly make sense for my business? And that's a consideration that anyone who's listening should make for themselves. I think it's easy to jump on this next shiny object, but it has to actually convert in the end, because we are all here to make business.
Right. So basically, you need to decide whether it's going to add value to your business before you decide to get on that platform and actually use it. And it probably is easier for someone to actually have an actual product to use it than someone to actually have a service to use
Right.
it. Yeah, I get it.
Because you said you are planning to grow your Instagram account, right?
Yes.
So what was your idea? You were planning to attract the customers, or to just have some social proof when someone is researching?
Try to at least grow followers and attract potential customers with Instagram, because Instagram is starting to be the next big thing. However, I am tending to get more, like I got more followers on Facebook than Instagram, and I'm getting more hits on Facebook than Instagram, but I want to be able to still be able to use Instagram to do almost the kind of same as Facebook, even though it's not, you really probably can't do that, because it's like, well, you can, but the marketing on it might be a little bit different because of the platform that you're using. So just trying to really try to get to Instagram, build Instagram followers, things of that nature, to actually grow potential clientele.
I have tried a little bit of everything, and in YouTube I was not so successful. They all say, oh, you just have to put out content, and consistency is the key. You just have to continuously put out content. Well, I put out content every day for 4 months, and I only have 550 subscribers, even because there's a lot of competition in my niche. Like, I was doing interviews on the topics for Amazon sellers, and there's a lot of channels on that topic. But the thing was that I was doing the same on LinkedIn. So I was publishing the same thing on LinkedIn, and on LinkedIn now I have 6,000 followers, So it's actually worked for me better on a newer platform. LinkedIn itself is not new, but their news feed and the way they are, it's like the early Facebook news feed right now. It's very, very good to get a lot of eyes, and new followers grow so much faster in those 5 months when I'm comparing the two. Because I was doing the exact same thing, on YouTube and LinkedIn, but LinkedIn grew so much better for me. So that's why I was wondering about TikTok, whether I should do the same and focus my effort, for the next while. Would it be worth it? So now I told you all of these places that I've tried, right? So YouTube did work somewhat. LinkedIn worked a lot in terms of number of followers. And in general, I still have a feeling that none of these followers converted directly to become new shopkeeper trials. I feel like I spent 4 months of doing interviews almost every day and having the full-time outreach manager, and
Mm-hmm.
all of these things and a lot of content. I think is such a long-term game. You do have to be consistent, but consistent for 4 months is not enough. Have to be consistent for like consistent for 4 years maybe. I don't know, but just until you will get that momentum, and then somehow it's gonna take off. Because so far what I've seen, 4 months of investment every day is not really enough to become popular influencer, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know, what's your take on that?
Definitely, especially since I'm doing the podcasting, you do have, now that I started a podcast channel, I am noticing that, you know, your followers will increase the more persistent that you are, the more you put out actual content. So, you have to really do be persistent. Like, so you can't just like be to the point where you release all this information and then you stop and take a break probably for like a month and then you go back. No, because your followers are going to drop off. So you really have to be persistent with getting your followers out there. If you know you're going to have that time span to where you can't really upload actual audio, I'm learning that, start doing pre-recorded stuff so I can upload during the weeks where I know I cannot actually get to the podcast to do things, if I'm busy doing taxes or doing seminars or things of that nature, but still have pre-recorded um um you know episodes already completed. That way I can still upload on the weeks that I'm not actually doing something. So just trying to stay consistent while doing it so I can not lose those followers. And actually what I'm noticing too is like trying to get, make sure I put my stuff out there more on the social media platforms that works for me. Like I said, Facebook has worked for me. LinkedIn has been growing and working for me too as well. Then starting a YouTube channel, so making sure that I'm putting stuff up there as well to advertise the podcast so it can increase more followers. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm noticing it's so much work to be everywhere and do everything. You
It
know,
is. It is.
they say repurpose the content, but I feel like, okay, if we record this interview right now, and if we would publish a piece of it on TikTok, now it's like a horizontal video. If you want to publish on TikTok and that it would take off, it has to be native video. Same on LinkedIn, it has to be native. That means less than 10 minutes uploaded directly to LinkedIn and not a link to YouTube or something.
Right.
Those native videos I feel work the best on each platform. But to make a native video from the one we're doing right now, that means I have to cut it like narrow, you're gonna
Right.
only see my face. So it's not gonna work. That means I would have to have like a phone recorder next to here on another pod, tripod, and then another phone here for LinkedIn, and do LinkedIn live at the same time. There's another one, for the behind the scenes video. Like, I mean, the actual setup and the overwhelming, of that repurposing of the content could get so big that it's impossible to control. And that's why I am trying to find the place where is my energy will be the most cost efficient.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, I think that out of all of those is LinkedIn. And TikTok is interesting to me because it's only 15-second video and it's such a big takeoff. So I'm still not sure, still considering it, whether I want to take it on full time. But
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn, I highly recommend for any business that you're working on. Let me share my screen a little bit. I'll show you on LinkedIn. All right. So, for example, there's my main profile. So on LinkedIn, I have a few pages that are company pages as well with the followers. But I'll just open as an example, like my personal feed. So on the personal feed, the videos that you see are moving automatically, those are the native ones. So those are less than 10 minutes and they are uploaded directly. Now those which are not moving automatically are YouTube links. So you see what happens when I'm scrolling through the feed, I'm actually seeing this video moving, which is the native one, and this one is not moving because it's a YouTube link. And therefore that YouTube one gets much less clicks and less engagements. So the goal is to upload those native videos. And in general, I try to upload every single day a video, and now look, number of followers is 5,388, and I discovered that about 10% of them will potentially see it if it's a good video. So if it's an interesting one and some people clicked likes, then LinkedIn shows approximately 10% of your number of followers. Now, interesting thing with LinkedIn feed, what happens is if one of these people clicks like, so let's say, so Christina Mertens, she clicked like, right, on my video. Or she did click like. I don't know if she even watched it. She clicked like, right? I'm saying that because she's my friend and probably just supports me with a like. Now, if you actually look at her own activity, her own feed, so when you see her activity, it says Christina Mertens likes this. So what happens is that she has 3,000 followers. So when she clicks like, her 3,000 followers, or potentially 10% of them, are seeing this post which says Christina Mertens likes this. This appears in their news feeds, just that she likes it. Now suddenly my brand is being shown to hers. So imagine how this is multiplied these days. Maybe this will go away soon. It's because LinkedIn is so new. Now everyone who clicks like, so 9 people clicked like, and to 10% of each of their audiences, I automatically showed up in their news feeds, So it's a big multiplier. It's not only my people who saw it, but also all the others who are people liking. So it's very interesting, and I'm saying LinkedIn works just because the number of followers comparing to YouTube followers grew dramatically. It's like 10 times more than I have on YouTube right now. So it's a very interesting observation. Yeah, that's Christina herself. Hi, Christina. So my consensus about all the different platforms is only pick one and focus on that one for at least a few months. Mm-hmm. To put your best effort in. If you try to spread yourself thin and do a little bit, let's try to repurpose here and do this, you sort of just focus on every one little bit instead of focusing a lot on one. Yeah. So therefore, the result will be only little on each of the platforms. Like right now, I know LinkedIn works, and I really want to focus on just LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. Start figuring out how to get more followers. What is the content? What are the hashtags? Like, are there any other things that LinkedIn has that could work better? And I think that type of strategy is much better than just jumping on a new trend. Like one of them is TikTok. Yeah.
Wow, awesome. Well, thank you so much for giving us all your helpful tips. I definitely will think about it, and then like more so probably just once I get one platform to where I want it, then focus on another platform. Try to, because you can't get overwhelmed focusing on a lot of platforms, more than one platform at a time. So tell us how people can get in contact with you if they want to do anything with Shopkeeper, Amazon, and I'm gonna share the screen.
So you could go to shopkeeper.com, and that's our website. If you have any questions for me, or it's best if you reach out on LinkedIn. So there's a link on the screen right there. On LinkedIn, I am Paulina Masson, Mason with double S. And we can chat. Actually on LinkedIn, I do get a lot of questions and collaboration requests, if you want to do webinars together or something like that. So jump on the chat and we can discuss it.
Awesome. And my information, if y'all guys would like to get in contact with me, my number is 910-317-0396. You can schedule a consultation on my website at www.mjfinancial.biz. And you can also find this episode on Anchor, you guys, if you would like to listen to the episode on the go. And I would like to thank you again for sharing your helpful tips. It was very, very intriguing to me. TikTok, I mean, that was like, I heard about it, but I was just like, oh, what is TikTok? So good to kind of know how people can use it for their business, and then more about Instagram and LinkedIn. So I thank you today.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're so very welcome. I look forward to having you back again. Well, all right, you guys. Thank you for listening to this episode, and we will see you on the next one.
Ciao, ciao.